2009 was a tough year. I turned 50, was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer, and began chemotherapy. 6 rounds and subsequent surgery left me limp and useless. I followed Cleo's lead and rested patiently, waiting for the spell to lift. Cats can be zen-like when they want to be. My husband Steve and I lived on the top floor of a 4-story walk-up in Prospect Heights without a buzzer system. To some renters, this would be a deal breaker, but if the price is right, you overlook such trivialities. We considered ourselves fortunate to live in this desirable neighborhood, and we had a system for answering the door. When someone rang our bell, Steve or I would crack open the bedroom window and yell, "Who is it?" Those who warranted a trek downstairs were UPS or FedEx, food deliveries, and invited guests, not necessarily in that order. I was fortunate enough, or unfortunate, to be unemployed while I went through chemotherapy. Once Steve left for work, I was on my own. Luckily, I had friends nearby who offered help and came by for visits, but allowing them access was going to be tricky. Even if I could make it down the stairs, the climb up was impossible. I made an extra set of keys, put them in one of Steve's tube socks, and knotted the open end. He seemed to have an endless supply. When a guest arrived, I would toss the sock out the window. They'd pick it up wherever it landed, remove the keys, and use them to gain entry to the building. Between snowstorms in January, my cousin Doris decided to pay a visit. I was feeling low, but welcomed the company and the chicken soup I hoped to feel well enough to eat. When the buzzer rang, I stuck my head out the window and told Doris to stand back. Hitting visitors in the head with the sock defeated the purpose of the visit entirely. I gave it a weak toss, trying to keep it close to the building so I wouldn't nail Doris, and watched as the white sock landed on the ledge outside the window below us.
I don't believe it.
Me neither. Hang on, I have another set of keys. I had made a few sets, expecting to hand them out to friends so they could gain access in an emergency. I helped myself to another of Steve's socks, secured the keys inside, and tossed it out the window. Steve eventually went down to our neighbors to explain what had happened and retrieve the keys. But this incident was on my mind when I went through a second round of treatments 8 months later. I was wiser now, not just about what to expect from chemo, but some practical things about pitching. My friend Christopher was preparing to visit. On the phone, I reminded him about last year's key incident. When you buzz, I'll toss the sock, but stand back, I have to clear the building. When he arrived, I threw, putting some oomph into it. But too much oomph can be a bad thing. I watched in horror as the sock caught on a tree limb. What the? The weight of the keys caused the toe of the sock to fold over the branch while the knotted end grabbed on a V-shaped part of the limb. I was down to my last set of emergency keys, but it bothered me more that the keys were dangling outside. Did I need to have the locks changed? What was I going to tell Steve? Each morning, I went to the window to see if the sock was still in the tree. The sock was obviously staying put, but I liked to check on it anyway. The sock remained throughout the winter of 2010, complete with record snowstorms, hailstorms, and 45 miles per hour winds. Though a bit gray and dingy, it had become a symbol of strength, endurance, and tenacity. Small changes in the tree that held the sock marked the passage of time. Spring was finally here, and my treatments were over. Soon the leaves would envelop the sock, making it harder to see. But I'll continue to look for that spot of cotton among the green. Undoubtedly, I'll see it dangling as usual in the limb it's made home. Another season passing, and the sock and I are still here.